The desert is not a passive landscape. It is a moisture vampire designed to drain your internal hydraulic pressure to zero. Most individuals don't reach a terminal outcome here because of bad luck. They die because they cannot read the terrain's blueprint. We are about to deploy 10 scientific methods to extract vital liquid from thin air and stone. But you must watch until item 10 to identify the silent pool, a trap that looks like salvation, but is actually liquid death. Let's begin. Number 1. The first protocol is the Transpiration Bag. This is the most passive, high-yield method you can deploy while you conserve energy. Trees and bushes are biological pumps. They pull groundwater from deep in the soil and release it as vapor through their leaves, a process called transpiration. To harvest this, you wrap a large, clear plastic bag tightly around a living, leafy branch in direct sunlight. You put a small rock in the bottom corner of the bag to create a gravity point. The science here is the greenhouse effect. The sun heats the air inside the bag, causing the leaves to sweat profusely. The vapor hits the plastic, condenses into droplets, and runs down to your collection point. The sensory reality of this water is that it tastes like the plant bitter tannins, but it is safe vital liquid. The pro solution is to seal the bag at the branch with cordage so tight that no air escapes, and never let the leaves touch the plastic, or the water will divert back into the plant. Deploy 5 of these and you have a liter of fluid by sunset. Number 2. If you encounter a dry riverbed, initiate the outside bend excavation. Do not just dig randomly in the center. You need to understand fluid dynamics. When water flows, centrifugal force pushes the main volume of water to the outside of the bends. This action scours the bedrock deeper at these curves, even months after the surface is bone dry. Gravity holds the remaining water table in these deep pockets under the sand. The sensory experience of digging here is distinct as you breach 2 or 3 feet down. The sand changes from scorching hot to cool and damp. That temperature drop is your signal. The pro solution is patience. Dig a hole, wait for the muddy seep to fill it, and do not scoop it immediately. Let the sediment settle. If you see damp sand on an inside curve, ignore it. Go to the outside wall, under the cut bank. That is where the reservoir hides. Number 3. Scan for indicator vegetation. Not all green things are created equal. In the desert, you will see mesquite or creosote bushes everywhere. These are liars. They have massive taproots that go down 50 feet. They don't help you. You are looking for the holy trinity of water indicators: cottonwoods, willows, or sycamores. Biologically, these trees have evolved shallow root systems that require the water table to be within 15 feet of the surface. If you see a cluster of bright green cottonwood leaves shimmering in the heat haze, you are looking at a biological neon sign pointing to water. The science is simple. These trees cannot survive without wet feet. Dig at the base of the greenest tree, but be careful. Just because nature signals water doesn't mean it's safe. Later, in item number 10, we will discuss a water source that looks perfect but signals a chemical hazard that no filter can fix. Number 4. Look to the sky for the grain eater trajectory. Animals are better at finding water than you are, but you have to know which ones to trap. Raptors, hawks, eagles, falcons get their hydration from the raw biomass of their prey. They don't need to drink. You can't trust them. You need to track the grain eaters, doves, pigeons, and finches. Because their diet is dry seeds, their digestion requires daily water intake to soften the food. The pro solution is to observe the sky at dawn and dusk. If you see a flock of birds flying low, fast, and straight, they are headed to a tank. If they are flying high, slow, and meandering, they are returning to roost or hunting. Triangulate the low, fast flight paths. Where the lines intersect, you will find the source. Number 5. Search for shadowed Tinajas. Tinaja is a Spanish term for a natural rock bowl or depression found in sandstone canyons. After flash flood, these potholes fill up. If they are in the sun, they evaporate in days. But if they are high up on a canyon wall, permanently in the shade, the water can remain there for months. The water will be stagnant. It will be full of mosquito larvae and algae. It will smell like rot. The sensory recoil you feel is natural, but you must suppress it. This is perfectly salvageable water. The science of evaporation dictates that without direct solar radiation, the loss of fluid is minimal. The pro solution is to siphon this water carefully without stirring up the sediment at the bottom. Filter it, boil it, and it is safe. Unlike the deceptively clear water in item number 10, dirty biological water is usually safer because the presence of bugs proves it isn't chemically toxic. Number 6. Utilize the morning dew swipe and high deserts. The temperatures swing between day and night is extreme. This thermal shock creates condensation, objects that cool down faster than the air like the metal roof of a vehicle, a solar blanket, or large smooth river. Rocks will drop below the dew point before sunrise. The science here is atmospheric harvesting. You are pulling moisture out of the air before the sun reclaims it. The pro solution is to wake up at 0 hours before the pre-dawn light. Take a dedicated sponge or a cotton t-shirt and wipe down every non-porous surface in your camp. Wring it into a cup immediately. It is tedious work, taking mere ounces at a time, but in a survival situation, those ounces keep your kidneys functioning. It is pure, distilled water straight from the atmosphere. Number 7. Engage in insect triangulation. If you can't find birds, look smaller. Bees and ants are rigid in their behavior. Mason bees, specifically, need water to mix with dirt to build their mud hives. They operate on a strict flight radius, usually no more than 3 miles from their water source. If you see a bee, you are close. The pro solution is to catch the vector. A bee flying in a straight line is a commuter. If he is loaded down and flying slow, he is going to the hive. If he is light and fast, he is going to water. Ants are similar. A converging column of ants often leads to a moisture pocket. Follow the traffic. It requires 20/20 its vision and focus, but it turns the chaos of the desert into a grid you can navigate. Number 8. Deploy the solar still. This is the classic survival science experiment, but it requires labor. You dig a pit, place a cup in the center, and cover the hole with a plastic sheet, sealing the edges with dirt and placing a rock in the center to create a cone. The sun shines through the plastic, heats the soil or vegetation, urine you throw in the pit, and turns the moisture into vapor. The vapor hits the plastic, condenses, and drips into your cup. The science is distillation, leaving the salts, toxins, and bacteria behind in the dirt and giving you pure H2O. The pro tip here is to use the unusable. Urinate in the pit, not in the cup. Throw in chopped up cactus that you can't eat. Let the sun filter the toxins for you. It is a slow process, yielding maybe a pint a day, but it is pure. However, even distillation has limits. As we approach item number 10, remember that some chemical contaminants are so volatile they can't bypass even our best filters. Number 9, locate north-facing seeps in the northern hemisphere. The sun tracks through the southern sky. This means north-facing cliffs and canyon walls spend the majority of the day in shadow. This reduced solar load allows groundwater to seep to the surface without evaporating instantly. You are looking for dark stains on the rock face, patches of moss, or ferns growing out of a crack in a vertical wall. This is a seep. The sensory detail to look for is a slick look on the stone. The pro solution is to jam a majestic piece of grass or a hollow reed into the crack, where the water is weeping out. This breaks the surface tension and gives the water a path to drip into your canteen. It is slow, but it is often the coldest, cleanest water in the canyon. Number 10, the grand finale. We arrive at the silent pool trap. This is the mistake that ends the game permanently. You are dehydrated. You stumble into a valley and see a crystal clear, still pool of water. It looks like a swimming pool. It is cold, but as you approach, look closer. There are no water striders skating on the surface. There is no green algae. There are no animal tracks at the mud's edge. There is no bird poop on the rocks. It is silent. This is a dead zone. The clarity is not purity, it is sterility. This water likely contains lethal concentrations of arsenic, heavy salts, or alkali that neutralize any biological life that touches it. If the bugs won't drink it, you can't drink it. The science is simple toxicity. Ingesting this will cause immediate chemical burns to your esophagus and rapid kidney failure. It is a siren song. The pro solution is the life test. If the water is not supporting life, bugs, weeds, algae, it will not support you. Walk away. Better to stay thirsty and alive than to drink a cocktail of heavy metals and face a terminal outcome in agony. In the next protocol, we will dive deeper into urban blackout survival and how to source water when the taps run dry. Subscribe so you are ready.